So has a client ever requested that you adjust your section's background image for a specific size or device? And I know that Elementor has their custom breakpoints, but we don't want to set up one extra breakpoint for a specific size, and then that ends up setting up a custom breakpoint globally, and that may slow down your website, and you only want a custom breakpoint for a specific section, not for every single page. Well, this is a solution that you've probably been looking for. So I'm going to be showing you how to add a custom breakpoint for your section's background image. So as you can tell, whenever we start to shrink this, you notice that the image will start to move around and adjust accordingly to the size, right? And we can do that very simple by just adding some custom CSS to our section. It's going to be adjusting accordingly. And we're doing this all with just custom breakpoints that I added here. And I know that this may seem a little bit overwhelming, but it's actually not. It's fairly simple. And I'm going to go over it in this video, how you can make adjustments to your section background image. And it's going to be a great solution in case you're having this issue. Now, hopefully you guys end up enjoying the video. If you do, make sure to like it for the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of my videos. I hope you guys enjoy. Now, in case you guys are wondering how to build this website here, I actually have a video on this on my channel. I'll try to link it somewhere around here so you guys can check it out. It's a full tutorial starting from the home page to the contact page. And you guys are going to get a lot out of it if you guys watch the entire video. It is kind of long, but I do go over a lot. So anyway, let's go ahead and just start here. So first thing we need to do is open up a preview window just so that we can grab the custom CSS and set up our custom breakpoints. Now I know that Elementor does have, they did add more devices for their custom breakpoints, but to be honest, we're not going to really be adding that just because that ends up setting up those breakpoints for every single page. And I don't really want to do that. I feel like it's CSS that's not really that necessary. I only want to do it just for a specific section, and that's where I want to add the breakpoint. I don't want to just add it to every single page, so that's why we're going to do it this way. So let's go ahead and right click and click inspect. Now I'm sure you guys have gone through this scenario before. That's probably why you even searched for this video, is because there are times where you know, a certain visitor or client they'll be on a specific screen size and the image won't be at the right spot, and the client's telling you to move it over a little bit, and you're like, well, I don't have a breakpoint for that. How am I supposed to do that? You know, well, this is where we can just add a custom breakpoint with some CSS, and we can adjust it and move this image wherever we would like. So this is just a scenario, not saying that we're gonna even need to do this with this image, but I just feel like maybe this needle here, the space needle here in Seattle, we need to maybe move it a little more to the right for this specific screen size, right? And this is 1524 is the width of the screen, so we're gonna adjust it for this specific size. So let's go back into our editor here and click on your section, and then go into advanced, and then go into custom CSS. And this is where we're going to be adding the custom CSS for that. Now you can also add the CSS in your customizer, but if you have Elementor Pro, just add it in here. So what we need to do is actually grab the CSS for this section background here. And it's not really tricky to find. It's pretty easy. So just make sure you hover over this section here. Make sure you click on this little selector here, and then just make sure that it's highlighted there in blue, and then just click on it, right? So then you'll see that right here, this is, I believe this is our container, so we want to actually target. So basically just click around until you find the one that shows you the image here, image URL, and then the background position. This is the main one that we need to find. Shouldn't be that tricky to find, just because it is the first one, because once we start to hover over here, you notice that it's going to go to our header, and it's the one right below this one right here, which is your WP page, I believe, and then we have this one here. So once you click on this, grab this CSS here. Now I can't really have this CSS code in the description or even or even on a URL, like usually how I do it, is because this one's going to be custom to your section. It's going to be tagged to your section. So that's why you need to make sure that you find the section and you find the section's background here. So once you have that, just go ahead and highlight this, hold your left click and then highlight it and copy it, and then go into your home and then just paste it. Now, as mentioned, this is tied to only this section. So if I were to duplicate this section here, it wouldn't work for my duplication. Just because, as you can tell, it's tied to a specific element ID. So that's why it's not going to work here. Okay, so that's why it's super important that you just copy this exact code. Okay. Now we're going to remove the image because we don't really need the image anymore. That's just there. The only part that we really need, I mean, we don't even need this background size either. We just need the background positioning, right? And then we were gonna go ahead and click on responsive so we can see the right size. And let's go into 1523 is the size that we need to adjust. So if I go in here and type in 1523. 1523, does that work? Okay, we're probably just gonna have to shrink this then. So let's just bring this down until we have about 15, at least something past 1523, right? So it's 1547, 1521. Okay, there we go. So that should work. Now we can see the screen size here. So maybe we want to move this Space Needle a little more to the right. So the first one is going to be from left to right, and the second one here is going to be from top to bottom. So I just want to make that clear. So if we add 100 pixels, it's going to move 100 pixels from the left side to the right. So it's going to move 100 pixels from the left. And maybe if we add 200, it'll move 200 pixels from the left. So you kind of see how that works, right? Now, if we add a negative, this is the interesting part. If we add a negative, it's going to move 200 pixels negatively to the left side. So it's going to push in. You see that? So that's how that works there, right? Another thing that we could do is maybe we want to set this to 150, maybe 180, right? But now we're saying that it's not covered, and maybe we want to, from the top, we want to maybe push this, maybe from the top we want to do 100 pixels, except we want to maybe do negative, so we push it a little bit more down, right? So now that's moving it down, but the issue is that we have this cutoff here, right? So that's actually where we can use the background cover. So I'm going to actually grab this again, and I accidentally deleted it. And I'm going to paste it right under here. And we're going to use, instead of cover, and we're going to maybe do 120%, right? So that's going to even zoom it in even closer. So now we don't have that extra cutoff there, right? And actually, I'm going to make sure that I have this set to no repeat, just so then I can see if there's ever any space within our background, and we can fix that. So that's good. But now you will notice that it's if I were to do this, it would kind of go back. It would kind of it'd be set like this for all the devices. But I only want this specifically to start whenever we reach what was it? Whenever we reach 1523, right? So what we need to do is add a custom query here. So go ahead and do @media, and then we're gonna do some brackets there, and we're gonna type in the max width that we want this to start at. So max width colon, we're gonna do 1523, because that is that basically anything after 1523, it's gonna begin. Our style is gonna activate here, and we're just gonna grab our CSS code that we created here, and we're just gonna paste it right in here. You notice that now it's set. Now, if we were just to move this a bit past 1523, you notice that's gonna reset, right? See that? I'm gonna go back to how it was and do that. And then basically we can continue to do the same thing. So we can maybe shift this over to about this size here. And we're noticing that the Space Needle here needs to be shifted more towards the bottom, and maybe shifted towards more to the right side. As we can see, we could probably be better if we have it over here, right? So let's do that. And we want to copy all of it, basically just copy the entire thing and then just paste it right under it. It has to be under it, guys. So anything that's below 1523 for your pixels width, it has to be under it. Just make sure you do that. So right here, we're going to do 1368. All right, so 1368. And we're going to go ahead and adjust this now. So from the left side, maybe we want to shift this more. So let's remove this here. And you see how we have that issue with that spacing. So maybe let's do 150, and we'll probably just zoom this out a bit, or zoom this in for them. It fits perfectly. And then from the top here, let's remove this 100, and let's still do a negative, but let's do maybe like 30 or something. Okay, so that works. We don't need to move this over that much. Actually, we can do maybe 20 or 100. But you know what? Even 10. Let's do something like this, just because I want to show you guys how we can get rid of this gap here. So obviously we don't really have any more of the image. It's already cut off. So what I like to do sometimes when it does stuff like that, we can just zoom it in. So we can do maybe 50, right? So now that we've zoomed it in to about 150%, now we can maybe shift it more to the side here. So we can do maybe 0 pixels just to get it in where we want it. And then maybe we can shift this up a little bit here. We can do 40. Now, like I said, this is just an example, guys. It's not going to be perfect, but it's just to give you guys an overall idea of how you should go about doing this. You see how it's going to adjust properly where it needs to go. And then basically you continue to do the same thing. So now that I did basically the desktop version, I know that you can keep going and keep adjusting every single size, right? Depending on how the image is looking. Trust me, I've had it in the past where a client wanted me to literally fix like probably five breakpoints on desktop, and I had to literally do this every single time and just keep viewing it, and I had to just keep fixing it little by little. It was very repetitive, but that is what the client wanted, so it needed to be done, right? And there is a solution to it, so that's why it's great to do it. And this is doing stuff like this is really just going to show pretty much that you're an expert at Elementor and you know what you're doing, and you can offer more high level services, right? More custom services. So that's what's important, to know stuff like this and to actually learn CSS and even programming in JavaScript. But I'm not going to get too into that. So let me go back into responsive here, and let's go into tablet. And so let's do the same thing on tablet, and it's literally the exact same thing that we were just doing. We're maybe just gonna do, for this example, I'll do 811, right? So I'm just gonna copy this one here and paste it under it, and then we're gonna do 811, right? So now we notice that we have this space here, right under here. So let's do something where we're gonna fix this, right? So let's do 0 instead. And maybe we don't need to zoom it as much, but you see how right here we definitely need to zoom it in. So let's do 150 so it fits properly, because if we didn't have if we didn't have it zoomed in, it wouldn't have fit. So if I would have just had this at cover, it would have been like this, which is fine. I mean, that works too, but if you wanted to maybe zoom it in a little bit more, you could do that. You can do 90. And then now we can go ahead and just kind of adjust this. So let's say we want to do 20 negative, right? We want to shift this over a bit. Let's do 100 negative and shift this like that. And then we'll do 100 negative to bring it up a little bit, and there we go. So I'm only going to do tablet once, but that's how you can adjust it. Now let's go into mobile, which will be our last breakpoint that we're going to adjust. Now, of course, you can once you start doing this, guys, you can't really adjust it anymore within your breakpoints here. It's not really going to work because we're already setting it over here. So just keep that in mind. Once you start to do this, you can't really adjust it anymore within your editor. You're just going to have to do it within the code. And it's fine because it's gonna be custom anyway. So now you can tell whenever we get it to about this size, it's not doing what it's supposed to, right? So I don't like that white space. So as soon as it even starts at the white space, which is like right here, we're gonna actually bring it down. So as soon as we see that white space coming out, that's when we're gonna fix it. So we're gonna do 368 is gonna be our breakpoint there, 368. And then we're gonna go ahead and actually, this one is the side, and let's do maybe 50 instead, right? So that will work. And then from the top, instead of 100, let's definitely not do 100. Let's do like maybe like -30, right? There we go. So -30. Now that worked. But if we shrink this, it's not. Let's see if the image will end up working if we shrink it. Okay, so now we don't have that space, so that's a lot better. You see that? Now we could have zoomed this in a little bit if we wanted to, and done maybe like 220%, and that would have worked too, right? So, but just to show you guys an example, you see how now when you start to adjust this, you can even fix this if you wanted to. Maybe zoom it out a little bit so you can see all of this. Let's actually do that real quick. I feel like this will be helpful for you when something's like really zoomed in. Oops. Yeah, when something's like really zoomed in like this, we can maybe back up here and do 767, right? So at 767, we're gonna go ahead and actually just do cover on this one, right? So maybe at 767, we'll just have it set to cover. And then we will remove this negative, and there we go. Now you could just zoom it in a little bit, maybe do like 100 and like 20%, which would work as well. But we could just set it to cover. And then you can shift this around if you wanted to, but we're just gonna set this to cover for now, you see? So now everything works properly how it's supposed to, bam, bam. We do have this spacing here, which we should fix. So that's the issue with cover. So you know what? Instead of this cover, let's actually do like 120 or 130%, just so then we don't have that issue here. Okay, so we'll have that issue right here. You see how it does that? So this is where this comes in, and you can really start to fix all of this stuff. This is where we can do 468 and so on. I don't want to make this video too long, but you know what? I feel like it's going to be important if I do. So you see how now that seems to work? It's set to 220. That's why it's zoomed in 220, by the way, because I basically copied. Oh, you know what? I ended up changing the other one, didn't I? So let's actually fix this one here. 429. And let's zoom this in about 220. And there we go. So we can shift this over a bit. I noticed that the Space Needle maybe needs to be shifted over a bit. We can maybe do negative 100 or something, right? Shift this up a bit. Well, maybe we can do -40 or -50. There we go. So that can work. And there we have it. So now everything is completely adjusted there and everything works. And this is why it's important to add these custom breakpoints. And I really wanted to share this with you guys. So I do have a video, obviously, where I did go over the how to set up your background image on Elementor just by using the settings. But this is something a lot more custom, and I feel like you guys are really gonna find this helpful because in the past I've had clients always ask me to adjust images for certain sizes, and this is just a great solution that should hopefully work. Just remember, very important, that whenever you're doing this, you make sure that you copy the right CSS class that we went over, and you actually follow the hierarchy when it comes to this. So anything that's higher than any breakpoint that's higher than the other, it's going to be above it. Anything that's lower is going to be under it. Just remember that, and you should be fine. If you guys have any questions on this, just feel free to comment down below. I'll try to have a solution that maybe works with any section. You just gotta paste the code. I may have that in the description, but if not, just go ahead and use this method here. But if I provide the CSS down in the description, I may just find one that I can just do selector and change these out so it works with any section that you paste this to. But I'm not sure if we could do that. But if I can figure it out, I'll have a link in the description. Okay. So that's pretty much it for this video. I didn't want to make this too long, but I know it needed to be done and needed to be more in depth. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like it for the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Now, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.